We have an extreme talent here tonight. And some people would dare to say that he's a triple threat, but I'm gonna take it a step further and I'm gonna say that he's a quadruple threat. Okay, he's an actor, he's a singer, he's a dancer, and he'll beat your ass, he's a boxer. Ladies and gentlemen, Rogelio Douglas is in the house.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hermanito.
It's good to see you, dude.
What's going on, man?
Salute to you.
Gracias.
We're excited to have you. We are. We're gonna start with everything that I mentioned. You work as an actor.
Yes,
We can talk about credits in a bit. You work as a singer. We'll also talk about credits there. And you're also dancing, specifically tap dancing. But you are working in all these things. So I'm gonna start with, how do you pick and choose? Is it just a matter of when that call comes?
I'll try to tackle different sides of it. It's
Yeah.
interesting because that's also was put forth by, my representation as far as like management and agency as well. Very first thing that ever opened the doors for me to use all three of them was Broadway and musical theater.
Right.
So like a lot of my base is in that. How do you manage all of it? I mean, for me, sometimes I realized that my acting, I needed to not only take lessons and classes and stuff, but I actually needed to focus a certain amount of time into that.
What I think is important that you just touched on is that no matter what credits you have and how well you've done, you continue to work on your craft.
Yes. One of my rules was that I needed to try to focus on each talent for at least 3 hours a day. Like I'll focus on this intensely and then I have to focus on the next thing. But like as far as career-wise, what helps is that you don't know when auditions are gonna happen. But what's tough is you need to keep that muscle going. So I end up, like for acting, let's say I go to like John Rosenfeld studios. And then at John Rosenfeld, they have different like people that you can work with either privately, they have audition classes, all these different things. But him and like Leslie Kahn, they give you this like family of like actors. Like once you go through their program and you guys all are like, not so much reliant on each other, but you support each other. If I was just a singer, I also feel like I told you, that's like I feel, I got that when I was in church, that was the blessing. But as an actor, I mean, I still feel like I'm still building as an actor. I have legitimate credits, and I'm grateful for that.
Right. You were in Orange is the New Black. You were in Whiplash.
That was my first film. That's my first film set I'd ever been on. I booked it because, this is crazy, I played trumpet when I was like back in like junior high, going into like high school. No, I played for 6 years.
You were playing?
And I played for the city too. No, I'll go in.
Okay.
When I pick up a talent, I go for it.
All right.
No, I played trumpet. I got to play for Mayor Dinkins. Like I was at least that good as a kid. I wasn't Arturo Sandoval, pero not everybody can. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
All right.
And I need 6 more days. Arturo, no. Anyway, but
that's how you got that because you.
They wanted to know for the movie, it was about a jazz band and this maniacal jazz band leader that was played by the legendary J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
And it'd be the first one on set. He was in shape. He worked out constantly. He was ready. His preparation, and then what I got to see him do behind the scenes, like as far as him speaking with the director and the director of photography and how they were coming up with the shot and him looking back at the playback. And I'm like, oh, wow, they're really involved.
He's aware. He's really aware.
Very aware as to what's going on,
right,
where the angles are. And I was like, oh, wow, I really have to learn. It's not just getting in front of a camera and performing and doing the line. And I met some lifelong friends on that set. And
yeah, I'm sure.
Even with the Ovation Awards, it came full circle for me because I got to see J.K. Simmons backstage.
What was the name of the musical, real quick? What was
the name of the musical was called Five Guys Named Mo. Okay. It was written by Clark Peters. Shout out to Clark Peters.
Yeah.
I also love. He's another one of my uncles now, I can say. That show allowed me to get my equity card, which is
You
Actors
did that show
Equity.
13 years ago?
13 years ago. This is an old show. This was the 25th anniversary
presentation
of it. What happens is a show will be done, and if it gets to Broadway and then it gets nominated and all those other things, it's now a Broadway show. It then gets done at all these other houses. So the best way to explain it is like a baseball team. Let's say, you have a major team like the Yankees, but then they'll have a AAA club, a AA club,
Right.
a single A club.
Right, right.
Theater is the same in that aspect, except it's not like you playing for a team. It's just a show. So a show may happen, and then all the different, like the smaller markets throughout the states, all the different
Right.
divisions or
Right,
levels,
right.
will all particularly they can purchase the rights to then perform this show. Okay, so you can do it anywhere. So 13 years ago, I got my Actors Equity Association card, which is how you can perform in professional theater stages all over United States.
This is like
Part
the
of
equivalent of SAG.
SAG, but for theater.
But for theater.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
then you have to get that card. That's your union card.
Right,
And
right.
you can't work some certain places if you don't, if there's special cases. So like if they may be allowed to have a certain amount of non-union actors, but then they have to have a certain amount of contracted equity actors. So it helps people who are at some of these smaller theaters, those people who may not have their equity cards yet can get to see other professionals work.
Right. I'm sure there's a challenge to being a triple threat, because it would be easier if you were just a singer or if you were just an actor and you're just focusing on that one thing.
Well, the challenges that you face, not only to keep honing the craft and to keep growing, because you can make it to like one certain level of it, and then you can't coast on that level though. It's not like, oh, I've made it to being at this level of an actor,
Right.
and this is good enough to keep achieving this. No, it's not, because everything grows. Art grows. It's living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and even as a singer songwriter, like the thing, like I started out doing jingles, so I had to grow to then now, being able to write a full composition. But you still have to go through the stages. I think that's the one thing when you see all the different professionals that we
Right.
come across all the time. They've all gone through their different phases of their career, and that's why they're where they are right there. And if you
the
catch
greats are
someone
putting in the work
all the time.
all the time.
There might be a job that comes along you might not be that enthusiastic about,
Right.
but you
Right.
still have to be a professional.
It's work.
And get the job done.
It's the hustle.
Yeah, it's the hustle. You have to do it.
Yeah. How does the approach change between TV and film and Broadway and performing live?
In theater, you're trying to make sure that the person in the back seat can see you. So if you're playing in a 1,300 seat theater, this movement, even us doing this right here, will not be seen. That person that spent like $200 to sit all the way up there is not going to see this little movement. They're not. It has to be a big, it's bigger, it's different. And then what happens is your stage becomes smaller. That's how I say it for television and film. Like they can say, like, this is multi-camera. You're doing some
Right.
things are single cam shot. You know what I mean?
Right,
You have to
right.
know the difference in what that is. To me, I did not know.
You're thinking
know?
about these things as you're getting ready?
Yeah, you have
like
to.
You're getting ready.
But for television and film, you need to know that. You need to know that because it also judges how big your space is that you can move and operate in.
Right.
Again, because for certain things for film, you have to be very still. Let's say here, and this is a big move on screen. To you, us being close, nothing. But on screen, that is a huge move. It's
See, that's
big.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not a lot, and you feel like you're not being yourself, and you kind of go through different shifts, but you have to do it.
So you are separating both.
Yeah. I mean, I may prepare the same as far as how to retain it. Like I said, I'll go over it and over and over it, like Lena Horne's method. Lena Horne would say you don't really know a song until you've sang it by heart 50 times. Then you actually know the song, like without a mistake.
Right. So me and you are guest singers on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, we are.
Do you apply that? Because we get songs.
Oh my God.
The week of.
Yeah, the week
we have
of,
to
and
learn,
that's a
or a
different-
day before.
Yeah. And
Do
have
you
to know
prepare
it.
the same way? Are you
I
singing
have
that
to.
song 50 times?
No, usually it's like 25 though. I do get to about 25.
Right.
But
Right.
not necessarily by heart though, because it's how much time we have. So
We don't
that's
have a
why
lot of time. We don't have a lot of time,
So
right.
usually if I get the call from them, everything else has to stop.
Yeah.
What's challenging is that if I have an acting job, that's when it becomes tricky.
Right.
And I kind of look at it on a per project basis. But I have fallen into traps, and it has hurt me. I'm not gonna lie, because some people are like, oh, you're just doing it. I'm like, no, one time I was doing Dancing with the Stars, and then I got a call to work with David Foster on a private event
Yeah.
at the Beverly Hilton. And what's crazy is I was in an equity rehearsal for a show called Take On Me. And equity rehearsal means you're basically rehearsing 6 days a week, up to like 10 hours a day. You do it, that's your schedule. So I have an equity style theater production that I'm doing. I end up hurting my back
While doing this production.
while doing this in rehearsals for the production. So the day my back is spasming and now I can't move forward, and we open this show within like in a week's time. The next day I get a call that the creative team of Hamilton is gonna be coming into town and they would like to see me. And I went, okay, my back is spasming, I can't even walk, but I have this gig with David Foster that I have to do. And David is like, bring your tap shoes. He has no idea. I never tell him. Like,
Right.
His people were
Right.
like, why didn't you tell us your back? And I didn't say a word because, these jobs don't come all the time. But those are the challenges. I'm trying to focus on so many things at a different time. But I
And that's the hustle, in my opinion.
yeah, that is the hustle. It's what we do. Unfortunately, that audition didn't end up going well for me for Hamilton, and they know me because I worked with Lin-Manuel Miranda
And In the Heights.
In the Heights, I'm original Broadway cast,
Right.
so it's a lot. But how do you explain to them that I
I've
had
been
this,
working.
I hurt my back, they do not care. No disrespect to anybody or any kids out there trying to do this. Just remember that everybody has that's their baby. This is their project.
Yeah.
This is their focus. So those are the challenges where you want to give everybody that, not only that respect, but you want to respect their work. Dancing
Right.
with the Stars calls. You want to go in and be ready and prepared for that.
And
You
this is
gotta-
the reality, right?
Yeah,
The reality
it's
is
the
even though they
reality.
knew you, it
They
doesn't
know
matter.
it
If you didn't
matter.
deliver that day.
I didn't deliver. And so it's what it is. There was no way to explain to them that I'm doing all of these things. And to a lot of people, they wouldn't even believe that. Not a lot of people would believe that this is where you are. You know me, so you know.
So we know, yeah.
we know. And
Right.
I know how hard you work. The quote unquote fan, or even people who want to get into the business, and them looking at you, sometimes they're
Right.
seeing like the Instagrams and they're seeing the Facebook stuff, but they don't know how hard you're hustling on the back end.
With this, we're going to take a short break. We're going to pay the bills, ladies and gentlemen. The hustle. We'll be right back.
What up, Beat Warriors? Welcome to another Logic Production Minute in 40 seconds. Just finished that fire track, but now you need to send it to Dave Pensado to mix? How about Manny Marroquin? You know those guys don't mix in Logic, right? It's chill. Logic will print your entire project stems with your plugins to WAV files with just a couple clicks. First, select your whole project for safety using Command A. Then click File menu, Export, all tracks as audio files. Now let's get some sane settings. Save format WAV, bit depth 24-bit, normalize overload protection only, pick a folder to save, click export, and in a minute or two you'll have delicious snacks ready for your favorite Mix Engineers Pro Tools rig. For more tips like this, go check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/John Kubas.
La murga de Panama. All right.
Solamente eso.
Yeah, we were just what advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
I would tell my 16-year-old self to, to definitely embrace the journey more, to take it seriously, that it is a job. I didn't have that. I didn't have the certain things I have in my life now, mentors, and that it was basically me. I got up and I went to go do it
Right.
because I wanted to do it. And you have that for a long time. If you want to get in this industry, if you want to do this, to go ahead and to do your research as far as looking into classes. I picked up, a newspaper called Backstage, and that opened up my world to like everything that was going on. And Backstage still exists. They can go to backstage.com and you look up where you can take dance classes, either in your city or definitely in your town, or something that may be passing by. Sometimes they have these like touring, like acting workshops. I just say, go ahead and start getting involved. You have to get involved. And I also think it's okay that if you don't have, quote unquote, union or equity or SAG-AFTRA movies or whatever, I don't think it's a problem. You should get involved with student films.
A lot of these,
because you have to learn.
A lot of these places, even SAG-AFTRA, you can take classes You're gonna have to pay a little more, but you could be a non-member and still take a lot of the
still
courses
take
they offer. Yes, they do.
I think that there's more resources now
Yeah.
for young
Yeah,
kids if they want to get involved. You need, you know what I mean?
It's some great advice, man. It's some great advice. All right, so we do a little something here on the show that's called the rapid fire round.
Rapid fire!
None of these questions have been shown to the guest. And are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
LA or NYC? Let's go. Rapid.
LA is where I'm at.
Oh, man, you just made some enemies in New York.
That'd be
Apple
all
or
right.
Samsung?
Oh, damn, Samsung.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite instrument?
Believe it or not, it's guitar. You know, I love piano.
That's cool. Favorite performing venue that you've performed at?
Ooh, Sayers, the Sayers Club.
Okay. Favorite Broadway musical?
Wow. Favorite Broadway musical. I saw it and I love it. See, that's a tough one, man, because there's Hamilton and there's also In the Heights. It's the same.
That I happen to be
In the Heights.
Mayweather or McGregor?
Ooh, Mayweather all day.
MJ or Prince?
Oh, that's wrong.
I had to.
That is wrong. Rapid fire. That's wrong.
Rapid fire. MJ or Prince?
I'll be real. It was MJ for me as a kid.
Okay. Last one. Who's your new favorite artist?
Ooh. Who is my new favorite artist? Alyssa Cara.
I'm gonna say that was a successful rapid fire round.
Rapid fire!
With some editing.
You know what? We're gonna leave it just the way it is so people see the realness.
Hey, I like
And
that.
the rawness of
Keep it real.
I want to thank you, man, for being on the show, The Hustle.
Oh man, thank
And
you for doing
you're one
this,
of the
man.
you're one of the first ones that we thought of, and we're excited that you came down.
I'm humbled by that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rogelio Douglas Jr. And Rogelio's currently in the studio, and he's recording his original music on his first debut album. I'm sure it's gonna be hot, so keep an eye out for it.